Well, the time has come, everybody. I've reviewed all 9, the 6 originals, the remake, and Freddy vs. Jason. That adds up to 9, unless I'm wrong. Am I wrong? I don't think I am. But we're going to be ranking them from worst to best, because that's how you do a ranking video. If I say what was the best, although you probably know what it is, that would just ruin the fun in some cases. But anyways, I want to take this moment out to say that I'm almost at 100 subscribers, so tell your friends about me. Because if I get to 100 subscribers, I'll release a special video just for you guys. But anyways, let's just jump right into this. So what's at the bottom of the barrel? What's the worst one that sucks ass? To me, this might surprise some of you if you weren't watching my videos. The worst Nightmare on Elm Street is Nightmare on Elm Street 5. The Dream Child. This movie was a mess. I don't even think this movie knew what it wanted to be. It was so confusing. I felt like it was written by somebody who just thought they were being so creative and cool, but they weren't. It just failed on all fronts. The resurrection's terrible. I'd rather have no resurrection. Just throw them on screen. I'll accept it. This movie has the worst characters, the worst acting, the worst deaths, except for like that motorcycle one, but really that's not how he died. He died by a car crash, not a motorcycle, turning him into a fucking Bane-looking dude. Alright? It's terrible. The one-liners from Freddy, non-existent. He's on screen for probably 4 minutes. The whole mother aspect, the ending, terrible. So much terrible with this movie. So much. So yeah, and this is like probably the worst makeup almost. He looks like bubblegum stretched over his face. It's fucking terrible. There's nothing really good I could say about this movie. Like, I'm trying to remember if there was any interesting deaths. There weren't. It was just terrible. The script, the character Lisa Wilcox, I don't give a fuck about her. It has the weakest opening of the whole franchise. The shower scene is just ridiculously stupid. I don't see how people don't put this at their bottom. But hey, it's just my opinion. It's all my opinion. It's my channel. If you don't like it, fuck off. Which brings me to my number 8. My number 8 is going to be what everyone else puts at the bottom, and that's Freddy's Dead. I still have enjoyment with this movie because I know what to expect going into it. It's not a movie I'm going to revisit anytime soon, like ever. I don't have a reason to. So, but I know, at least this movie knew what it wanted to be. It just went completely comedic the whole time. At least you get one interesting death in this movie of Carlos's head exploding, even though there's no blood. Pisses me off. But there's still more fun to be had in this movie. The special effects, the dream sequences are more interesting than part 5 with Super Freddy. But this movie, I know people hate on it. We got the whole cartoon aspect. Freddy is a Looney Tunes character. He's pushing the bed of nails out onto the road, looking at the screen. He breaks the fourth wall. We get this new backstory and lore that isn't really needed. It's just there to be interesting and new. But yeah, I mean, I still had some fun with it, so that's why it's not my bottom. Alright, so moving on. Number 7 for me is going to go to Freddy's Revenge. 1, where's the revenge? Who's he getting revenge on? The house? Because that's the only thing that's retained from the first one. We don't know where Nancy's at. Is she dead? We don't know anything. There's no continuity in this movie. This one is like the only one that says, fuck everybody else, we're our own little thing, and we're gonna be very gay. Got all these gay undertones, like, just like all these, like, gay, like, subtext, except it's not subtext, it's, like, right there. Got this weird-ass story about a guy who's being possessed. This is more like a possession movie, almost. Like, it totally went a different route. It's way too different. Freddy, he's admittedly the best, like, look, probably. But it's a shame that it's in this movie, and therefore, it still doesn't do enough for me to raise it above the other ones. So therefore, it's just going to be stuck down here, because I just don't have that much enjoyment in it. They break the rules of the first one. They have Freddy just enter that pool area, which is complete bullshit. You shouldn't be able to do that, but whatever. Then you got those dogs at the end with the weird faces. What the hell's going on there? This movie just made almost no sense. I didn't like it. I mean, if I'm in the mood to see some naked guy ass and getting toweled and see some gay bar scenes, like, yeah, this is your movie, but I'm not in the mood for that. I just can't watch this movie. I know people that really love this one. Like, this is their favorite sequel of it. And I don't understand it. I never will. I'm not a fan of this franchise, but whatever. Let's just move on. Number 6 for me is going to go to the remake, because the remake doesn't do anything new. It's the same movie as the first one, except worse. The characters aren't, like, real no more. They're just all these Hollywood models coming in to play 17-year-olds, except they all look like they're 25. They're not interesting. Rooney Mara is a bitch in real life. And then we got Katie Cassidy, and she just gets wasted. She's Tina. She should have been Nancy. And then we just get a pedophile Freddy. And just stupid. That one character, Quentin, it looks like he's gonna cry the whole movie. Look at him. He's always like, just like, I know you're tired and all, but shit, just liven up, buddy. I mean, he gets like the adrenaline shot. He still looks like he's about to like pass out and cry. This movie just repeats all the same gags, but the only thing good about it is Jackie Earle Haley as Freddy. He delivers some good lines. He's got some dark moments in this movie. Still some comedy. But other than that, there's really nothing much going for this movie. It should have been on par with the original. Like this, with all the technology we have today, it should have been done better. And I think it was written by the same guy who wrote Final Destination 5, which doesn't surprise me. But moving on to my number 5, I believe, is Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. This is like the official start of Joke Freddy, where he's just like giggling all the time, putting glasses on. You got all this like MTV music stuff, like lots of like, this movie probably had the most 80s atmosphere and vibe to it when you watch it, like people's hair and their clothing. This movie came out like 88-ish, I think. But this movie has some pretty good practical effects with Freddy's like resurrection, his death, like all the hand, like rips open the shirt, you see the souls and stuff. I think that's in this movie. I'm going off of memory. So forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm not a Freddy fanatic, so don't take my word for it. But this movie has the cockroach death, which is probably one of the best deaths of this entire franchise. There's not that many deaths in this franchise. Each movie has like an average of 3 or 4 deaths, compared to like Jason, who kills like 12 to 15 every movie. But the cockroach death is there, and that's what really raises it up. I really like the cast in this movie a little bit more. I could do without that karate scene bullshit. That's probably the moment where it starts to go downhill from that moment on. You know, because Lisa Wilcox is gaining everybody's like personality and talents. It's stupid, it's confusing. They kill off the cast from the 3rd movie. That's a big sin to me. But other than that, like, this movie still has some fun to it. I don't like the 3rd act, but the first 2/3 are okay. Alright, number 4 is going to go to New Nightmare. That's right, I'm going to put this above Dream Master. Now, this isn't a movie I'll stick in if I want to watch like a Freddy movie, because Freddy is not really in this movie. This movie takes place in real life, where Heather Langenkamp is facing off a demon who takes the form of Freddy, because Freddy's become a joke, so therefore he's able to. I forget the explanation, it was weird. But this movie is like the meta horror right before Scream came out. But I enjoyed this movie's like the script was pretty good. This most smartly written movie, greatly directed by Wes Craven. Great performances. We get the original cast back playing their selves. And we get to see Robert Englund playing himself too. So that was always interesting. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I mean, there's not much, like if you're a slasher fan, there's not deaths really too much in this movie. We get a repeat of Tina with the nurse or the babysitter towards the end of the movie, but that's all you get. But other than that, I enjoy this movie, so therefore it's my number 4. Number 3 is going to go to Freddy vs. Jason. Now, if I want to watch a fun movie, I'm going to stick this in before any of the Freddy movies. But as a Freddy movie, there's a lot more Jason kills in this movie. There's a lot more focus on Jason doing all the carnage and trying to kill him. He's got the upper hand easily against Freddy. I don't think Freddy's much of a match in this movie. He gets all his kills stolen, but I enjoy his makeup, his performance. The performance by Freddy, what's his name? Robert Englund, duh. I just said it like 10 seconds ago. How did I forget it so quick? I enjoyed the 3rd act in this movie a hell of a lot. The characters are probably what weighs this down. The performances from them. You got Jason or John Ritter, who's terrible. The teenagers, they're all terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. When you make a slasher movie, you're supposed to make the people who die at least a little bit interesting, and this movie failed on that. But the story and the reason between like how and why these two characters end up fighting each other, Jason and Freddy, I enjoy that. I thought it made perfect sense. So I always enjoy that about this movie. But like I said, since it's just like Jason really doing all the stuff, you can't really say this is a great Freddy movie. It's more like a great Jason movie. But I still put this at my number 3. If I want to have fun, I'm going to stick this in. Number 2. Which one's it going to be? The original or Dream Warriors? Is it going to be the one that started it all with this mainly serious Freddy? Or is it going to be the slightly more comedic Freddy at a mental institution, killing off much more interesting characters, in my opinion. Well, my number 2 is going to go to the original. And here's why. If you took out the last 10 minutes of the original and you did Wes Craven's original ending, it'd be number 1. But that last 10 minutes ruins the whole journey for me because of that. I just hated that whole, evil lives on. I hate that fucking shit. It's like, no, he clearly was defeated. And I hate when they just cop out and say, nope, he's alive, because fuck it. But what can I say about the original that no one's ever said? Nothing. It's been said. Great score, great characters, Nancy, Tina. You think she's the main person, but then she dies like 20 minutes-ish into the movie. I did get annoyed by Nancy's mom. I hate that whole character of just like constantly just never wanting to believe her daughter. It's like, at what point are you going to buy what she's saying? And I always found it weird that like the first death and second death were made to look like a murder and then a suicide, but then Johnny Depp dies and it's completely unexplainable to any rational human being. Like, how did that happen? No human contains that much blood. But yeah, I enjoyed how they kept Freddy in the shadows in this movie. They bring him out a hell of a lot more in the third one. And that's going to be my number 1. Dream Warriors, number 1. This movie brings back Heather Langenkamp and we get a more fun cast to hang around with. We get better one-liners from Freddy, better kills from Freddy, more interesting setting. We get a little bit more of a backstory. We get an official death of Freddy. We don't really get a resurrection because this movie couldn't really... How are you going to resurrect him from the second one? Are they going to ignore the second one? Yep, that's what they did. This movie introduces Hypnocell, and that plays into Freddy vs. Jason. That's why Nancy's never dreamt about Freddy since the first movie. And she gets her swan song at the end when she dies. We get this Bill Maher look-alike guy who's our final boy, I guess. He survives. Well, a lot of people survive in this movie. Like I said, not too many people die in this franchise. But this one has the best dream sequences. One of the better deaths, except for the cockroach in part 4. It's probably my favorite. Better one-liners, better Freddy, good makeup. So therefore, that's why Dream Warriors is my number 1. And that's my ranking of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. What's your number 1? Rank them all. Tell me in the comments below. Do you agree with me on any of these? Is my number 1 your number 1? My number 9 your number 9? Not too many people put 5 at the bottom, but that's what I did. So suck it, haters, suck it. But if you agree with all, go right ahead and support this video by hitting this like button over here. And you can support this channel by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds to see more. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.